With hard economic times characterized by massive layoffs by companies, collapsing of businesses and depressed incomes, Kenyans have had a tough time in 2019.
It is so shocking that the cost of living is going up day by day, whereas the common mwananchi is suffering.
Sana watu saizi wanafikiria shule, because pia unajua uchumi imeenda chini. So that's why imekuwa ni ngumu sana kuona watu wanaingia kwa shop kununua. But wale kidogo tunapata tunakubali tu, hatuna otherwise.
Hata nyumbani sitaenda manake nauli imepanda 2,500, mali ninaenda na 900. Kwa hivyo nita hustle tu, nitakuwa hapa around.
Imekalia yule wa chini, lakini tunajaribu tuwezavyo, at least kama una miti ile unaweza.
Among key challenges to ensuring a trickle-down effect has been how the debt-funded mega projects are implemented. The standard gauge railway is among projects that was projected to grow the economy, but the Chinese-funded project has channeled funds to contractors, which means that all revenues are being streamed back to the Chinese instead of into the economy.
Sure, we have investments on that corridor. The with China is about SGR and SGR only. Things have changed because now we are looking at the perspective of having a corridor which is very, very viable, both commercially and economically. And so we are looking from Mombasa to Nairobi, to Naivasha, to Kisumu and beyond.
A September review by the World Bank noted the central role of these projects in Kenya's growth this year would be driven by ongoing key investments to support the implementation of the Big Four development agenda.
And also, let's say, the agendas that we talked about, the Big Four and all those, have more efficacy, and the private sector takes off in particular ways, I think we'll be talking much higher rates. So I think there is some positive upside potential.
While the projects are yet to make a mark, they have drawn substantial attention, which is evident in the slashing of budgetary allocation to some ministries, with additional resource directed to those that the housing, health, manufacturing and food security functions. The government has been implementing major agricultural projects, with the most visible being Galana Kulalu. Despite spending billions of shillings over the last 6 years, the project has so far not brought any tangible harvest.
The country is getting value for money. That is a whole different question. If you look at the 5,100 acres under cultivation, vis-a-vis the 109,000 bags they produced in the last 2 harvests, one would say, for example, from the onset, that is no value for money. But this investment of 5.2 billion shillings so far pumped into this project is expected to last for another 50, 60 years.
While in 2010, Kenya saw the return of higher growth, services, the driver of previous year's growth, moderated while agriculture and industry rebounded after 2 weak years. Growth in Kenya's economy accelerated since the first quarter of 2010, leading to a projected growth rate of 4.9%, almost a full percentage point higher than the previous of 4%. Economic growth improved between 2003 and 2008 under the Mwai Kibaki's administration, and by 2005 the Kenya public debt had reduced from the highs of 80% of GDP in 2002 to 27% of GDP in 2005. The financial sector also greatly improved. At the turn of this decade in 2009, the Thika Superhighway was constructed and inaugurated in November 2012. The highway was divided into 3 parts, each awarded to a different contractor. The total cost of the project was 32 billion Kenyan shillings. In the 2011 debt management report, the National Treasury noted that the debt was rising, growing to 40% of GDP in 2009 and to 54% of GDP by 2012. In 2019, the public debt level is at 51% of GDP. Kenya's largest bilateral lender since 2011 has been China, and the largest multilateral lender since 1963 has been the World Bank. However, there is much to celebrate as Kenya has become an ICT hub of note in the region, as well as the successful introduction of new currency into the economy. Kenya can also celebrate Kenya's year-on-year improvement in the Ease of Doing Business Index rankings, having grown from position 106 out of 190 in 2010 to the current position 56 out of 190. The economy is expected to continue to grow through the years as the government continues to prioritize key sectors such as manufacturing, agriculture and tourism. Sarah Adam, K24, Evening Edition.